कोड कौन सा लोगे?
MMPC 009. सर ये दिख रहा है ना वहाँ पे मुझे? Good morning, dear learners. Welcome to teaching learning session of retail management. In our last lecture, we discussed about what is retail. We discussed about the various types of departments, retail departments. In continuation of that, today we'll discuss about the leased department. What is leased department? A leased department is a department in a retail store that usually a department discount or specialty store that is rented to the outside party. What is the leased department? Leased department is that department you have a store and you have rented out a portion of your store to the third party, outside party, right? That is, you have a retail store. Understand it like this. That is rented out a portion of your outlet to someone, to the third party. That third party is responsible for that leased department. Proprietary is responsible for all aspects of its business, and that to whom that third party is a percentage of sales the rent to you, because you are the owner of that space. Right? So you get a percentage of a sales as a rent. That is leased department. The store sets operating restriction for leased department to ensure overall consistency and coordination. So at times the store sets the operating restrictions on the leased department so that there should be no problem, there should be consistency and the coordination. Right. What are the advantages from stores perspectives? What all are the advantages? The market is enlarged by providing one-stop customer shopping. Right. But what is the advantage from the store's perspective? Because when people don't have much time, they have to purchase n number of items, and it is good for them if they get all what they required at the same place, from the same place. So your market could be enlarged by providing one customer shopping. When they come to know that in your store, whatever they want, that they will get that from your store, right? then it enlarges your market, right? So it enlarges the market, or it enlarges the market of the store. As a one stop customer shopping, you will get whatever you want in that store. No one knows that you have leased your portion to the third party, and third party is selling that. It increases your sale as you are getting the percentage of a sale as a rent, right? So it increases the footfall. Then personal management, merchandise displays, and reordering item are undertaken by leases. Regular store personnel do not have to be involved. That regular store person, that is that you don't bother have to about the personal management, about the displays, about the merchandise displays, about reordering items. That is the that role has to be played by the actual seller to whom you have rented the place, right? So you are not actually involved in all these. That is the You are not actually involved in personal management, merchandise displays, or reordering the items, right? You don't have to be personally involved in all these things. Leased department operators pay for some expenses, thus reducing the store cost. A percentage of revenue is received regularly, and you will get the percentage of a revenue, right? You get percentage of a sales as your rent, right? And the lease department operator pay for some expenses. What are the disadvantages from the store's perspectives? What are the disadvantages? The disadvantages from the store's perspective is the leased department operating procedure may conflict with the store procedure. Leases may adversely affect the store's image. So there could be conflict between you and between the third party. The third party could adversely affect your image, right? There could be conflict in the operating procedures, between the operating procedures of the two parties. So it could adversely affect the store's image. Customers may blame problem on the stores rather than on the leases. So if customer faces some problem, then they because they don't know that you have leased out that portion. You are not the owner. You have leased out that portion, but they will blame you. They will blame the store owners. They will blame for their problems to the store rather than the leases, right? So there are certain advantages. So I hope this is you understood this. What is leased department? Leased department, when you rent out your some of your portion of your retail store to some third party, and when you get uh, percentage of a sales as a revenue or as a rent, then that is known as the leased department. The advantages of this is, for the store perspective, is that it enhances it enlarges your customer base, because it could your store could be the one stop customer shopping, right? Then you don't have to manage your then you don't have to manage the merchandise or the displays of the articles. Personal management is not your responsibilities. That is the responsibility of leases. And you will that regular store personnel do not have to be involved in all day-to-day works, right? And you get percentage of a sales as a revenue, right? So your expenses goes down. What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages is there can be conflict in the operating procedure with the store procedures, right? That who has rented out your portion, their operating procedure could be conflicting according to the store procedure. What your procedure there might be different from your procedure, so there could be a problem, right? So it could impact the image, store image, right? Second is the customer. If customer faces any problem, any issues, then they will blame the store rather than the leases, right? So it impacts the image of the store, right? Advantages for leased department operators: stores are known, have steady customers, and generate immediate sales for the leased department. Why should I take out that? Why should I rent it out that place where I have to give a certain percentage of my sales as a rent, right? But there are certain advantage because stores are well known, so my advertisement cost will go down. I don't have to advertise about my store, because when the customer comes in, they could purchase my product. So stores are well known, they have a steady customers, the footfall is very high, and it generates the immediate sales rather than spending on the advertisements or the marketing and then waiting for the customers. This immediately generate the sales. That is what every retailer wants, right? Some costs are reduced through shared facilities like security equipments and display windows. Then you get uh, then it decreases your then this reduces your cost. Like if you rent out some of the place, then you have to arrange it according to the requirements, then you will spend on the equipments, then you will spend on the display windows, and display windows are very important in retail marketing. It plays a very important role, that how you display your product. Displaying the product plays an important role, and this display window, then this reduces the cost, right? Because you get the display windows, yeah, you don't have to spend on the security equipments, because others, because you share these facilities, and as you are giving them the certain percentage of your sale, right? Then you don't have to pay for this on for all these things, you are rented out that place, right? So it reduces the cost of the leased operator. Then their image is enhanced by relationship with the popular stores. When store is popular, then the it enhances the image of the seller, right? Oh, that product is available in that store, and that store is a well-known, a big store, right? And that store keeps a quality product. So no need to give another thought. Let's go to that store and purchase that thing. So there are many advantages for the leased department, that it reduces the cost, it reduces the cost of marketing, it reduces the cost of equipment, it reduces the cost of display windows, right? Then it generates because there is a study, because that store already have a steady customer base, so it results in immediate sales, because they have a steady customer base. You don't have to wait for the customers. The customer comes and you just have to display your product, you just have to tell them about their product, and if they need it, they'll purchase it, right? And this it enhances your image. How it enhances your image? Because when the store has a good image, automatically they don't know that they have leased their place to you, right? According to them, you are a part of a store, and that store has started a new product line, that the store is offering this product now, right? So this enhances your image, right? Disadvantages. What are the disadvantages for leased department operators? The disadvantages are, there may be inflexibility so as to the store hours. They must be open, and the operating style. If you want to open it at early morning, you cannot, because there could be the inflexibility. If store opens at 10, then it means it opens at 10. It could not be open at 9, or it could not be open at 11. So there could be inflexibility at the store hours. If you want to keep your store, if you want to keep your store open or remain your store open till late night, you cannot do that, right? Because there is a inflexibility in store hours. Store hours are fixed, and they must be open, and the operating style, that you have to opt the operating style of the store. You cannot make changes in the operating style of the store. So you cannot make changes in the store hours, as well as you cannot make changes in the operating style of the store. You have to you have to adapt yourself according to their working hours and their operating style. The goods and services lines are usually restricted. What type of goods, what type of services you can provide in their store, that is restricted, right? If they are successful, the store may raise rent or not renew lease when they expire. That is the biggest problem. Suppose if store is doing well, then it depends on the store owner whether he renews the lease or when they expire, or when whether he renew the leases or not. You were doing well in that store, your lease expired, and the owner of the store refused to renew your lease, then what will you do? You cannot do anything, right? So this is a disadvantage for a leased department operator, that if they are successful, they may increase the rent, right? They may ask for the more percentage of your sales, or they may not increase your renew your lease, right? In-store location may not generate the sales expected. You might have the another chances could be that it may not generate the sales expected. You might have expected a certain number of sales. If you will lease out some portion in that particular department, or in that particular store, that this might be the sale, this might be my sale percentage, but it may not generate the sales expected. Then what will you do? Right? Again, you have to pay the percentage of your sales, right? So it could be the disadvantage, yes, but you cannot do, because you cannot make the store, you cannot change the store hours, or you cannot change the operating hours. You have to go according to their hours, right? And then vertical marketing segments. A vertical marketing system consists of all levels of independently owned business along a channel of distribution. Okay, type of channel, what is the channel function and the ownership. Independent system, then partially integrated system, and fully integrated system. Right, independent system. Manufacturers or retailers are small. Intensive distribution is sought. Customs are widely dispersed. Unit sales are high. Company resources are low. And channel members share costs and risk. Task specialization is decidable. So, what is the independent system? Independent system, when an independent unit sells the product. That manufacturer, or in the independent unit, either the manufacturer or the retailer is small. They don't have much money. They don't have a big factory or an outlet. So they are small. Intensive distribution is sought. And the type of distribution is intensive distribution is sought. Customers are widely dispersed. Customer base is widely dispersed, and the unit sale is high. Company resources are low, because because of the so as we told, that manufacturer retailers are small, so resources are low. They don't have much money, resources, or manpower. Channel members share the cost and risk. The channel members, they share the cost and the risk, right? And task specialization is desirable. That the ownership could be the independent owner, could be the independent manufacturer, could be the owner, independent wholesaler, and independent retailer. Next, next is partially integrated system. What is partially integrated system? Manufacturer and retailers are large. Selective or exclusive distribution. Unit sales are moderate. Company resources are high. Greater channel control is desired. Existing wholesalers are too expensive or unavailable. Two channel members own all facilities and perform all functions. Then partially integrated system is what? Partially integrated and partially integrated system, manufacturers and retailers are large. They have resources, their resources are high, even company has high resources as well as retailer have resources, right? The selective, or they prefer, in rather than the intensive distribution system, they prefer exclusive or selective distribution system, right? There is a selective or exclusive distribution system is there, right? And in this unit sale is moderate, right? And greater control is desired, and in this, either the wholesalers are too expensive or are unavailable, right? Right. Then fully integrated system, third is fully integrated system. Firm has a total control over its strategies, direct customer contact, exclusive offerings, and system is costly and it requires a lot of expertise. Ownership is all production and distribution functions are performed by the one channel member. That is fully integrated system, where the firm has total control over its strategy, its manufacture as well as distribute it to the customers, directly to the customers. They have a direct customer contacts, and they have exclusive offering. They offer it to exclusive offers to the customer who wants it, and the system is costly and require a lot of expertise. Is this clear? So there are three types of channels in vertical marketing. The independent system. The independent system is where the manufacturer, retailers are small, their resources are small, or the unit sales are high, but task specialization is desirable. Partially integrated system where manufacturer and retailers are large and they have a high resources, right? And unit sales are moderate. And in this case, the existing wholesalers are either are too expensive or unavailable. And fully integrated system is firm has a total control over its strategies and they have a direct customer contacts, right? Right. And in this, they offer, there is a exclusive offerings and system is costly and requires a lot of expertise, right? Now, retail location strategies and decision. Retail location plays very important role, right? Why, whenever you are looking for a space location for your retail store, then location plays a very important role. So retail location strategies and decision, how to decide whether you should take that space or not. Why location is important? There are three most important aspects in retailing, that is location, location, and location. Location is very important. If your retail store is located at some place, at some distant place where there is no transportation and it is difficult for the customer to come there, how they will come? They will not prefer to spend that much money or that much time to come to your place. They will prefer to go to the some other retail store rather than coming to you, right? And if your retail store is located in the heart of the city but there is no parking space available, right? People have to search for the parking space for hours, right? And then even they will prefer not to come to your place because everyone comes by their vehicles and they want a secure parking place, right? So it is very important, right? It is very important that location of your retail store should be convenient and good, right? So location plays a very important role, and locating a retail store in the right place was considered to be an advocate for success. If you really want to be successful, the most important role, the most important factor of retail is location. Location plays an important role. If you have opened a store in a market where the customer, where the footfall of the customer or the footfall is very less, right? Then how much, despite of amount you spend on the marketing, right, of your store, then there are the chances that the footfall will not increase, right? So location of store plays a very important role. It is important for this success. It is an important part of retail strategies as it conveys a fair amount of image. Where you open your stores, it creates your image. If you have opened a store at some isolated place, it creates an image that you might not be having all the products, or that store might not, whether they will serve us properly, whether they will have all the products which we need or require, what they use to go to that place, should we go to that place, right? It creates an image. If you have opened a store at some place, at some well-known place, then it gives an image that that market is a good market and all stores in that market is good. There's new open store that this a new store has been opened in that market, that must be good. So it creates a image of your store. It influences the merchandise mix and the interior layout of the store, right? Even the location and the interior layout of the store plays an important role in retailing. This location as well as the interior layout of the store plays a very important role in retailing. It is difficult to change the location once the store comes into existence. Change of location may result in the loss of customers and the employees. Where you are located, when you have selected some place for your store, then it is difficult to relocate. It is difficult to change the location, right? Even if you change the location, this will result in the loss of the customer. You might lose your customer because customer prefers a nearby retailing store rather than going to the far-flung areas, right? So this may result in the loss of the customers or employees, right? Type of retail locations. There are types of the retail location. The choice of location of store depends on the target audience and the kind of merchandises to be sold, right? So on what basis you choose your location, that it is on the basis of the target audience, what type of product you are selling and who is your target audience. So freestanding or isolated store. The first is freestanding or isolated store. A store located along a major traffic artery, no competitive retailer around. So what is the freestanding or isolated store? Where there is no competitive retailer around, you are the only one. No competition, you faces no competition, right? And store located along major traffic artery. Second is rent are usually low and advertising cost are high. Isolated stories, the rent could be low because you are located at a place where there are not much stores, right? So rent could be less, but it needs a lot of advertisements. So marketing cost could be high, advertisements cost could be high. Customer may not prefer to travel a long distance to visit only one store, right? They will not prefer to come to the place where there is only one store. If I want to purchase something, some article, I would like to compare your product with your store product with other stores product, whether you are giving whose product is good. Like if I want to buy a shoes, then I'll compare the shoes of different companies or from the different stores. I'll compare the rate, I'll compare the quality, right? I'll compare the other offers and then only I'll purchase. So if there is one store I'll not be able to compare, then I'll not prefer to go to a place just to visit the one store. This is a freestanding or isolated store. The only thing is that you don't face competition. There is no competition, no competitive retailer around. But advertising, the second is rent could be low, right? That is usually low, but advertising costs are high. and chances are there that customers may not prefer to come to the place, right? Then part of a business district. A business district, primary, secondary, or neighborhood is a place of commerce in the city. Rent is high, parking is compulsory, it has good accessibilities in terms of transport, customers are more, right? Right. So if you rent out your place or if you select a location, that is a part of a business district. What is a business district? A business district is a place of commerce in this city, right? It could be primary, secondary, or neighborhood where there are n number of shops, right? You might face competition there, right? Right. So business district is a place where, which is a place of commerce where other shops are there, where other outlets are there, right? And in the city, and in these places rent is high. When rent is high, you don't have to spend much on the advertisement because that is a place of a commerce and people usually come for shoppings, right? To purchase their things. When the people come, they'll come to know about your products, about your store, right? So although you have to spend some amount on your advertisements and marketing, but that is usually not that high as in case of the isolated store. In isolated store, the cost of advertisement is quite high, but in if your store is located at some business district, then rent might be high, rent could be the high, but uh, marketing cost will go down, advertisement cost will go down. Then parking is cumbersome because that is a business district, right? There could be more customers. The customer could face a problem of parking could be cumbersome, right? It has a good accessibility in terms of the transport, but because it is a business district, so that district, there are the chances that it has a good accessibility in terms of transport. If the parking is a problem, if parking is cumbersome, at times people prefer to use public conveyance rather than the private conveyance, right? So, and in business district, customers are more. So there are the chances that your sales will go up. They'll come to know about your product. So it is very important to choose your location very wisely. If you choose some isolated place, you will not face any
About
competition,
that, how much
right?
has been done?
Your
How
rent could be less, but your marketing cost will be high, and people will not prefer to come to visit only one store. There could be no problem of parking. But if you take out, if you locate, if location is at, if the location of your store is at some business district, right? That business district is a place of a commerce. The rent could be high, but your advertisement cost will go down, right? It has a good accessibility of the transport. Those who want to those who don't have a transport, the public private conveyance, they can use public conveyance and come to your place, right? There could be a problem of parking, but because there could be a problem of parking, that is one main concern, it matters. But again, because of the accessibilities of the transport facility is there, people can manage to come to that place, and in this case customers are more, right? Then part of shopping center, a group of retail and other commercial establishment that is planned, developed, owned and managed as a single property. Parking is available, basic configuration is mall and center with walk ideally enclosed and climate controls. right? Another could be when you choose your location as a part of a shopping center. What is the part of a shopping center? Shopping center is a group of retail and other commercial establishment. That there are commercial establishment and other retail that is planned, developed, owned and managed as a single property, right? uh, when you choose as a shopping complex, in this complex there are other retailers, right? You might face uh, right, you might face competition, right? There are this location is planned, this location is well developed, and this is owned and managed by the single property. This is developed as a single property. Parking facility is available, right? Right. Example is mall. This is a part of a shopping center. Mall is a group of retailing and commercial establishment, and it is planned, developed, owned and managed as a single property. Usually parking facility is available, right? And it has a center with walkway ideally and enclosed in the climate control, right? There are certain steps involved in choosing a retail location. How to choose your retail location? First, identify the market in which to locate the store. It is very important. Where you want to open your store, identify that market, right? Identify the market. That I want to open my store at this place. Identify this market. And why do you want to open that store in that particular market? Make it clear. Why you want? Because there is no competition, because of the footfall of the customers, or because of what reason you want to uh, open your store in that particular market, or because the type of customers you want usually comes to that market, right? So identify the market in which to locate the store. The first step is this. Then evaluate the demand and supply within that market, that is determine the market potential. So what I said, why you want to open your store in that market, determine the market potential, determine the demand and supply, right? Like demographic feature of the population. Demographic feature of the population is where that market is where that market is. Try to understand the demographic feature of the population means, because that market caters the usually caters uh, um, people of nearby areas. So try to understand the demographic feature of the population means what type of people visits that market, what is their economic status, the age of the people which comes to that place, whether usually student comes to that market, or a old age people or a middle age people prefer that market, which income group prefers that sort of a market, a high income group or a low income group or a middle income group. Try to understand or try to understand the age, the various demographic features of the population of that particular market. Whether why it is important to understand the demographic feature of the population, when the product which you offer or the services which you offer for a particular group, whether that particular group comes to that place or not, right? The characteristics of household in that area, what type of people live in that, or what type of household in that area, whether that is a high income group household or a low income group household, or what type of a household in that area, whether there is a demand for that product in that area, or of that service in that area, or not. Then try to understand the competition which you will face in that area and the compatibility of that area, right? Then try to understand the competition, whether there are another outlet stores, or whether there are the stores which provide the same type of the products or similar type of the products and services which you are offering, right? And how stiff your competition will be, right? Try to understand the competition, or you are the only one who will serve or who will offer the product, right? Then try to understand the laws and regulations, right? What all are the laws and regulations, if there are any regulation, any laws which you which you are required to take care of. Try to understand this laws and regulation. Then the area analysis, right? Analyze that area, or that on the basis of the trade, whether that is a trade center, people come for the shopping, or people usually don't come for the shopping, they just go and come. The footfall is high, but that is not basically a trade center. People don't prefer to purchase the product from that place, but they just come, move around and go back. Let's so understand the trade area analysis. Is it feasible to open a store in that area or not? Right? Then identify the most attractive sites. Most attractive sites, how you can identify the, so first of all identify the market area. After identify the market area, try to determine the market potential. How can you determine the market potential? On the basis of demographics, on the basis of the households, on the basis of the competition, on the basis of the laws and regulation, on the basis of trade area analysis. Try to understand all those things, right? Then identify the most attractive sites. Then identify the traffic. Whether that area where you are planning to open a store is the traffic is that is a very high traffic area, or the traffic is more, right? If it is like that, people will not prefer to come to the area where it takes more time to reach there, right? Or where there is a congestion, or where there is a traffic problem, or because of the traffic there is no parking space available. Then accessibilities of the market, how accessible that market is. If I have a convenience, right, is there parking facility available? Or if I don't have a convenience, is it feasible for me to reach that market through a public convenience, right? How far that market is from my place. So accessibility of the market, whether that market is accessible or not, right? Your place could be good, but that place is not accessible. If I have my own vehicle, then only I can reach to that place. Then it is difficult for people to come to that place. At times they don't have a vehicle, or come they don't prefer to use their own vehicles. If some other public conveyance are available, and that market is accessible through public conveyance, then only people prefer to come to that place. The number and type of stores in that area, right? It matters a lot, right? People usually don't want to visit a single shop, right? They usually prefer to go to the place where there are many stores available, right? Where there are varieties of stores, varieties where they can purchase a variety of products, right? Where there are n number of stores available, and they provide the n number of products and services which they want. So the number and the type of stores in that area. The number of stores tells you about the customer base, right? If this number of store is less, then this shows that there is that then it is then people don't prefer to come to that place. If number of store is more, then this shows that people prefers that market and usually visit that place. So number of stores and the type of stores, number is more, but what type of store is that? It is important to understand, to observe the type of stores. The number could be more, but what type of stores are there in that market. This tells the preferences or the demand of a product in that particular area, right? So pay attention towards the number and types of stores in that area. Next is amenities available. Understand, try to find out the amenities available in that space, in that shopping areas. Okay, to buy or to lease, then again understand whether you want to rent out that place or whether you want to make a lease or to buy that place. Depends, it depends on many factor, it depends on your resources, whether you want to buy or whether you want to lease out that store. The product mix offered, and then again what product mix has been offered by the other stores, or what will you offer at that place, right? And then select the best available site. It's clear. So there are steps involved in choosing a retailing store. You cannot open a store like this is a place where I want to open a store, let's open it and then we'll see see will market our products, our store, and people will come to us. No, it's not like that. There are store location plays an important role, and while you are choosing a store location, pay attention. First of all, identify the market where you want to open the store, then evaluate the demand and supply or market potential of that particular place. In this, try to understand the demographic feature of the population, then understand about the household in that area, try to understand about the competition in that particular market, try to understand the laws and regulations of that market, and then do the trade area analysis, then analyze the traffic position of that area, then understand the amenities available in that area, accessibility, then understand the accessibility of the market, whether that market is accessible or not, then understand the number and the type of stores in that particular area, and then decide whether you want to buy or lease that store, because when you are leasing that store, make your lease accordingly, right? And the product mix offered, and then select the best available store, right? Clear? Retail merchandising, what is merchandising? Merchandising is planning, buying and selling of the product or merchandise, right? What is merchandising? That is, you are planning, you are buying and selling the product, that is known as merchandising. In retailing, what you do? You sell the product to the end customer for its consumption, to satisfy the need. You sell the product to the end customer to satisfy the needs of the end customer, that is retailing. And what is merchandising? Again, merchandising is planning, buy and selling of the merchandise or the product, right? The American Marketing Association defined merchandising as planning involved in marketing the right merchandise at a right place at a right time and a right quantity at the right price. So, what is planning? Planning involves marketing the right product at right place at right time at in right quantity and at the right price. Everything is important, right? So according to American Marketing Association, marketing is a planning, it's a planning. What's a planning? What this planning involves? This planning involves marketing a right merchandise, a right product, market your product at a right place, at the right time, in the right quantity, and at the right price. Merchandising can be termed as analysis, planning, acquisition, handling, and control of merchandise investment of a retail operations. See, It is very important. uh, Merchandising can be termed as analysis. Analyze what type of product you want to offer, at what price you will offer your product, to whom you will offer your product, right? Right? To whom you will offer your product, at what price you will offer your product, in what quantity you will uh, offer the product, right? And at what place you will offer the product, and at what time you will offer your product. Analysis, termed as analysis. Then plan accordingly. Planning, and according to the plan, acquire the customer, right? Market your product to the right customers, at the right place, at right price, at right time, right, in the right quantity, and acquire your customers, right? Then handling and controlling of merchandise investment in retail operation. How will you handle and control the merchandise investment? How will you handle your investments? Factor affecting the merchandising functions. What all are the factors which affects the functions? That is the size of the organization. Size of the organization plays a very important role, because according to the size of the organization you will purchase the quantity, accordingly you will market your product, right? Accordingly you will keep the price of your product, right? Accordingly you will try to acquire a customer base, right? Right. Then the merchandising to be carried. What type of product you would like to carry? Size of the organization, whether you are a big organization or a small organization, it depends on your resources. You have high resources or the low resources, accordingly you will plan for your merchandising, right? Then merchandising to be carried. What all products you want to be carried, at what price you will offer the product, to whom you will offer the product, right? At what time you will offer the product, at what quantity you will purchase the product and offer that product to the customers. So merchandising to be carried out. Then the type of a store. What type of a store is this? Whether it's a proprietary store, it's an independent store, or what type of a store is this? It's a list store. That totally depends on the type of a stores. We discussed about the type of a stores in detail earlier. Then the organizational structure. What is the organizational structure? Organizational structure plays an important role in merchandising. Whether it is a one-man show, only one man has to decide what type of a product and to whom he will offer, or there is a hierarchy that will define and discuss about the merchandising functions. That depends on the organizational structure. That there are there is a chain, right? Organizational structure is there, and there are n number of people who will decide what to merchandise and when and whom to merchandise, or an individual or a single person or an individual will decide and market the product, right? So merchandising planning can be defined as a planning and control of the merchandised inventory of a retail firm in a manner which balances between the expectations of the target customer and the strategy of a firm. So planning involves many things. That is, it keeps a balance between the expectations of the target customer and strategies of a firm. That how much inventory has to be maintained. Merchandising, while you are planning about merchandising planning, when you are doing merchandising planning, there are factors, implications, right? Like finances, payments to the supplier, and profitability measurements, right? While you are plan how will you make payments to your suppliers, at what cost you will sell your product so that you can make profit. Measure your profit, right? So measure your finances, how much you have to pay to the supplier, and how can you make profit through that product. Next is marketing. Marketing is new product introduction or developing advertisements, right? Marketing, suppose if there is a new product, then you have to develop the advertisement, you have to market that product. How will you market in how will you market that product, right? What all methods will you use for the advertisements or marketing that product? Make a plan, like, and how much cost will incur on the marketing, and how can you make the profits from that, right? So marketing, plan for the finances, plan for the marketing of the new products, and then the store operations. Then you should have a plan for the store operation. Space planning, how will you utilize your space, right? Because display of the product plays a very important role in retailing. Display plays a very important role, and to display the product you should have to manage or plan your space. So space planning plays a very important role. A plan for your space, how will you utilize your space so that you can display the maximum products. Communication about the new product and their features. You might have heard you might have heard the announcement made in the that is in the shops or the stores, that this product is available now, this product is available in our store, and there is an offer on this product, right? And buy one get one free, or we are giving 20% offer on this, and this product is now available in our store, you can purchase this product from our store too. So communication about the new product and their features, it could be in store, or it could be through advertisements, pamphlets, or other things. So it totally depends. Make a planning of finances, make planning for the marketing. You should have a plan for a store operations, right? Next comes is warehouse and logistic. Details of purchase order, details of allocations. It is very important in retailing that store operations, that warehouse and logistic. You should have inventory. You should have to maintain the inventory. If someone comes for that particular product and that product is not available in the in your store, then there are chances that he will never that customer will never visit again. So it is very important to manage your warehouse and logistic. Your warehouse should not be very far off, or even if it is very far off, then it is your responsibility to make the things, make the customer, make the products available right at the right times. Details of the purchase order, it is important that you should have a details of the purchase order. Order the product at the right time so that there should be no delay in delivery, right? Detail of allocations, whether that product has been allocated or come to your place or not. So make all the arrangements for warehouse and logistic. How will you manage your logistics, right? So planning involves planning of finances, planning of marketing, store operations planning, and warehouse logistics, right? Okay. Developing merchandising, the planning process. First is, while you are making a plan, develop a sales forecast. Sales forecast, how can you develop a sales forecast? Through reviewing past sales. Review your past sales, you will can make a sale forecast. Analyze the change in the economic conditions, right? Analyze the change in the sales potential, right? Analyze change in marketing strategies and the competition, and create a sales forecast, right? So you can create make a sales forecast through previous sales, through change in the economic condition, whether the economic conditions have gone up or down, right? Then the change in the sales potential, whether there is a change in the sales potential or not. Analyze the change in marketing strategy of a competition, or create a sales forecast, right? Determining a merchandise requirement. Planning in merchandising is at two levels: the creation of merchandise budget and the assortment plan. So budget is a sales plan. You need a budget for the sales stock, planned reduction, planned purchase at the gross margin, right? Stage 2 is determining the merchandising requirement. It is at two level. What two level? The creation of merchandising budget and the assortment plan, right? So hierarchy is from company to department, department to product classification, then category, then subcategory, style, price point, and stock keeping unit. So it has been done at the two level, right? Some key terms like staple or basic merchandising product always in demand. That is basic necessity products. There are certain products, those who are always in demand. Fashion merchandising products has high demand for a relatively short period of time. That is fashion merchandising. When the product is in high demand for a short period of time, if you can make available that product in that short period, then only they will move. Otherwise, seasonal merchandise, that is the seasonal product. When season comes, they come in demand. Fad merchandising enjoy popularity for a limited period of time, generate high sales for a short time, right? Style, unique shape or form of the product, right? That is taste in the music, unique shape or form. Assortment, variety of merchandising mix. Then you have a merchandising mix, right? Assortment. The width or breadth of assortment refers to the number of brands, right? Assortment is variety of product mix, right? You have a product mix, you have a variety of products, right? What is the width and the breadth of that assortment or the product? The number of brands for a particular product available. Suppose for a toaster, how many brands of toasters are available in your product? That is known as the width and breadth of the assortment. The depth of the assortment, variety in one goods or services categories, right? So depth of the assortment, variety in one goods or services categories, that is known as the depth, right? Is this clear? The merchandising budget should be prepared in advance of the selling season. It is very important. Plan properly. The language of budget should be easy and understandable. The budget must be planned for a short period, 6 months in normal, and budget should be flexible, right? Right? Planned sales. What are the planned sales? Planned sales are projected sales for a period that is planned. If you know that how whether there is an increase or decrease in the demand, then that is known as the planned sales. Planned purchases represent the merchandise that is to be purchased during a given period. Right? Planned purchases is planned sales plus planned reduction plus UM minus planned BUM. You can find out the planned sales. Right? Right? Um, that's all for today. We'll continue with this in our next lecture. Thank you very much. Namaskar.